Well, the battle over immigration ban continues. Acting Attorney General Sally Yates declared she would not defend challenges to the ban because she's not sure it's lawful. So President Trump did what he's known for doing. He fired her. He called it a betrayal. Now, is he sending a message about the price for defying him? And didn't she just actually do her job?
But a betrayal sounds like he's King Henry VIII. You betrayed me, off with your head.
I mean, the language is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a betrayal. I think certainly she's doing her job. I mean, what he may not understand is that the job of the Attorney General is to represent the Constitution and defend the Constitution and also represent the people of the United States, not necessarily represent the President. So I remember, you know, what most people don't understand is when you get into the courtroom as a federal prosecutor, you say, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Asuncion Hassan, and I represent the people of the United States." You say it every single day. And so, you know, she's his legal advisor. She can't send those prosecutors into court to defend something that she believes isn't constitutional.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah.
No, I was going to jump in and disagree. But you can go. No, I actually disagree. I know lawyers disagree all the time. I spoke with a bunch of lawyers yesterday. Mark Levin, one of my friends, and a number of people. And basically, her job is she can object. Their consensus is she can object to this, but her job is to enforce the laws. And by supporting the Constitution, she's essentially the president. In other words, the president is the guy who's there to make these rules. And if she objects, her obligation is to resign and say, you know what, I find this to resign, but not to stay and support insubordination of those laws, in other words.
It's not insubordination. I mean, she's actually doing her job. You are the legal advisor to the President of the United States, as well as
let me put you both on pause, because it seems like his pick for Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, warned her that this could happen when he spoke to her at her confirmation back in 2015. Take a look.
Right.
If the views the president wants to execute are unlawful, should the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General say no?
Senator, I believe that the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General has an obligation to follow the law and the Constitution and to give their independent legal advice to the President.
Well, that's true.
That's the job. That's the question to raise to both of you, Sunny, specifically with the legal part. Is it her job to raise questions of morality or just or rightness, or is it legality? Because the thing I was concerned...
Legality.
It's not morality, it's the Constitution. I mean, if you think about it, the preamble to the Constitution says, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, when you take an oath to become a lawyer, you swear that you will uphold the Constitution, and that's exactly what you do as the Attorney General, because you're the top law enforcement officer. So you are now telling the President, this order is unconstitutional.
Or I'm not sure.
That's my legal advice.
I'm not sure, which is what she said. I can't just blanket this because you just threw it at me, and I don't know that this is legal.
The reason I brought up morality was her language says, it's my solemn obligation to always seek justice and stand for what is right. So I was waiting to hear legal feedback, just curiosity about the parts she was talking about, and it seemed to speak a little more broad about this isn't right. So I just didn't know which one is her.
In her letter to the Justice Department attorneys, she made it clear, and I think in her letter to this president, that she found that this was unconstitutional.
The whole thing.
Well, can I just say that Jeff Sessions, who is up for the job of Attorney General, is going to bow down to Trump. If you look at his record, and they need to take a very close look at him, because during his term in the Senate, for example, he blocked nearly every black candidate for a judgeship in the state of Alabama. That has to be out there. People have to know his record, and I say that the record speaks to the future, in my opinion. That he's not necessarily sympathetic, for example, to women. He voted no on reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act. You know, he's against LGBT rights. This is the next Attorney General who will fall in line with whatever his name is, Donald, says he will do.
And that is not the job. You are the advisor to the president. I mean, and this is a president that doesn't have a law degree. At least President Obama had a Harvard law degree, and he did. And so he understood the nuances of the law. He's a constitutional expert.
Advising the president is not deciding which laws you want to enforce and which ones you don't. She could have said to the president, I don't agree with this. I don't like this. I have a problem with it. Hence, I'm going to resign. But if you're going to stay in that position, you're obligated to enforce the laws. Otherwise, laws, you're going to have attorney generals that just at will.
Enforce what
do you
laws,
guys
though? The
remember,
laws, wait a minute, which
hold on a
laws?
second, though. Do you remember the case of Kim Davis? I don't know if anyone remembers Kim Davis, the Kentucky County clerk. She defied a federal court order because they wanted her to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. That was the law at the time, and she said, I'm not going to do it because my religion says no.
That was not the law at the time. Remember that. That was not the law at the time.
But she defied that based on her
religious beliefs. This woman is acting on her law.
But where's the legal argument?
Well, here's the legal argument as I see it, and I know nothing about the law except when I break it. But what she did was she said, I cannot tell you guys to do this because I'm not sure this is legal. And part of the problem with all of this is that these things are tossed out like this and everyone is scrambling. So when we need to know, there's no time taken to see what the legality is, where it's wrong, where it's right, to correct it. It's the same issue that I'm finding, you know, when I hear this kid who is his mouthpiece. What is this young man? Steve
Bannon?
No.
Sean Spicer.
Sean Spicer.
Yeah.
When he says to, you know, diplomats around the world, you know, if you don't like it, leave.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. These people are telling you.
They're your advisors.
They're your advisors. So is this the same as what Trump was bitching about when he was talking about Benghazi? Didn't he say, well, you know, they told you what was happening and nobody listened, and that's why we lost this young man's life. This is the same situation.
They turn reality on its end. It's like they also told us that Hillary Clinton should not have a personal server. Now all of his surrogates and everybody around him has a personal server. So, you know, you can also, Trump is complaining that people are double voting. Well, his son-in-law is registered in 2 states. I think his daughter is. I mean, the hypocrisy. Steve Bannon is registered in 2 states.
If you're going to say that you are not, if you're the Attorney General, and you're going to say, I'm not going to support this law because it's illegal and it's unconstitutional and my job is to uphold the Constitution, aren't you obligated to tell people why it doesn't uphold the Constitution?
Well, only if someone is obligated to give you the time to do your job.
But then you can't first say, I'm not going to enforce it. You have to first.
No. If you're talking to the people who work for you and they're saying, what do we do? Do we just go through? She has to say, I don't know. I need to check because I don't think this is legal.
To be
I need
sure,
to know.
she had that conversation.
You have to know that she did.
You can't, as Attorney General, make the decision not to enforce the law based on a suspicion that it may not be legal.
No,
he is right to fire her.
That's
100%.
not. Listen, what you are saying is incorrect. What she said. How do you know what I'm saying?
No, I disagree. Just because I'm saying that my point is that you can't, Attorney General can't come out and just say, I think this might be illegal, so I'm not going to enforce it.
So let me ask you this. So if the law had been, the next 5 Italian people we see, I want them all shot.
Hold on.
Why do you have to pick Italian?
Because there's 2 at the table.
There's 2 of us.
I want them all shot. Now, the guys around the country will say, what the hell is this? What do you mean she wants it? Is she not correct in saying, listen, I don't think this is legal. I don't want you to do anything until I can get back to you and tell you what's going on.
I would hope that in that case she would cite constitutionally, she's the Attorney General. This is why this opposes our Constitution, and this is why I'm not going to support it.
You don't think she did that with her people?
She didn't even do it in her public statement. I'm searching through her public statement for the legality. I see no legal argument.
Are you telling me that you think that the president who put out this thing gave people enough time to make a legal argument? Because I will tell you that let me tell you about 2 of the people he's making the world safer from coming in. 12-year-old Yemeni girl who's stranded in Africa right now, prevented from getting back to her family in California, and a 5-year-old Iranian boy who's an American citizen who's detained and kept from his mother for hours at the airport. So that's who we're blocking. So when she says, I don't know if he can legally do this, that's her job to know.
It's her job to know.
She said, my responsibility is to ensure that the position of the Department of Justice will be right back.
You are. You're incorrect. We'll be right back.